want to play you a clip of outside of the New York courthouse, it appears, of Trump supporters responding to the news that Donald Trump has been convicted on all 34 felony counts in his first criminal trial, of course, in Manhattan. And here you'll see a lot of rage. We'll look at this, and then I'll show you a bunch of MAGA folks of all different sort of positions responding to this news. And it's some crazy stuff, an implosion, you could say.
Go where you belong. Yeah. Go where you belong. Get out. Go where you belong. Get out. Get out. Don't stay away from us. Mother. Get the you. You're gonna vote for a traitor? You. Get the out of here. You have a. Joe Biden. You're a little. You're a. New York City. You little. Yeah. Little shrivelly. That's what you are. That's all you are is a.
Run.
You're not even a man.
We're gonna eat you. We're gonna eat you and your
Yeah?
family alive.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Oh, you little. Knock him down. Knock the down.
Get the out.
Get the out of here. Get the out of New York.
Out of here.
You little. Get the out.
What the heck just happened? Let me say it again. I'm going to say this as many times as it takes. MAGA. Dear MAGA. Hello. I know you don't find yourself feeling fondly when you think of me. Not that too many MAGA folks are spending time thinking of me, hopefully, but I want you to know we are going to win. We are. I'm sorry. Trump is going to lose if I have anything to say about it. And that means you probably will feel sad. And I'm sorry for that. Sort of. And I want you to know, though, that the outcome of us winning is going to be us doing everything we can when it comes to policy to make your life better. I want you, as aggressive as at least those folks were, to do better. And Trump's not going to do that for you. You like his rhetoric. You like sometimes the fear-mongering, how that makes you feel. It evokes an instinct that he's tapping into. And you like the fact that he's going to wrong the people that you don't like. But if you actually look at his policy record, his governance, and what he intends on doing, it's about him. It's not about you, and it's not going to make your life better. But the policies that we advocate on behalf of are in the interest of your life getting better, all Americans' lives getting better. And that, I think, is an important contrast between those individuals' vibes and my vibe. There it goes. But by the way, I'm going to eat your face off? What? Oh, that's such a strange threat. Just say you're going to shoot me or something. Eat my face off. That's a little bit scandalous. Okay. It's a fun day. It is. I'm sorry. Here's Ted Cruz.
Well, listen, Sean, I think you're exactly right. What we saw today was an absolute travesty of justice. This was not law. This was not criminal justice. This was politics. This was a political smear job. This was an attack job. This is what you see in banana republics. And it is, I am both furious and heartbroken at the same time. I'm furious at what we saw, but I'm also heartbroken for the rule of law. I'm heartbroken for our justice system. You know,
I saw someone say he should get an Oscar for that performance. And let me tell you, if there's one thing that Ted Cruz will exploit any moment to further, it's his podcast. Take a look at this.
This was all politics. I'm here to tell you right now, this will be reversed on appeal. We're doing a special podcast tonight to break it all down. It'll come down about 10:30 tonight.
You know, I don't have the stats in front of me here, but he's podcasted so much. Democratic Congressman Colin Allred told me in the interview that we did together that Ted Cruz does 3 podcasts per week. What are we doing, Ted? 3 podcasts? And they added up the hours that's been. I'm not against podcasting, as you can see. I'm against senators caring more about their podcast than their job in one of the most important positions of power in the most powerful country in the world. So probably focus a little bit more on being senator than your obsession with Verdict with Ted Cruz, which is his podcast. Here's Jesse Waters not taking this well.
These nitwits, consumed with hatred, are trying to destroy a man because he threatens their power.
Or because he threatens democracy.
These are wicked people obsessed with a person, and we will seek justice. We guarantee that. This man's life is a Greek tragedy. From billionaire, bankruptcy, TV star, Hollywood Walk of Fame,
civilly liable rapist,
divorces, marriages, children. And that was even before he enters politics. And then you have investigations and hoaxes and a pandemic. And now they're trying to incarcerate this person. And the only way this act ends if he is reelected.
As I was watching that, something really occurred to me. The usage of the term they, okay, when trying to refer to some antagonistic group or individual, right? There's some shadowy they that's often referred to. They're going after Trump. They're bringing lawsuits. They're doing Russia, Russia, Russia. They're doing the pandemic. But all the theys that you would presumably connect to those different things are very different, but they put them all together. Well, first off, I think that denotes unserious intellect, not being serious about actually trying to critically think about a subject, because you just group everything together with they. They want you to take the vaccine, and they want you to eat crickets, and they want you to die a horrible death. And so that's laziness, I think. And also, it again emphasizes the sort of Occam's razor thought process that you could allow to play out that would answer a lot of MAGA's questions. Why are they doing this to Trump? Maybe they're not. Maybe it's a simpler explanation, that it's not all of these shadowy theys causing all of Trump's life troubles. Jesse Waters just beautifully went through it. He left out a lot of things, but Trump has had all of these troubles throughout his life, and he just keeps being in situations where sort of the simplest explanation would be he's a bad guy, right? But they're able to craft a narrative that throughout his entire life, especially since entering politics, it's never been him. It's always been they. But the they is not defined. Now, other thought on this. I was once told, not by my grandpa, but let's say for the sake of the story that it was it just sounds, right? My papa once told me that if every, dang it, let me think of how this went. My papa once told me that if every person you meet is a jerk, maybe you're the jerk, right? If every room you go into, it's just a bunch of jerks, maybe you're the jerk. And I think it was different language that was used. But here, if every person is a part of this grand conspiracy to take you down and it accuses you of wrongdoing, maybe you're just the one doing the bad stuff and they're reacting rationally to it. That's where I'll leave it on that. I have more to show you, though. Here's Marco Rubio.
This is the most outrageous travesty I've ever seen. And the problem here is Democrats have crossed this line. They have crossed the line in which now the court system is a political weapon. And it's going to be very hard for it not to come back the other way. I don't want that. I heard you saying that earlier in the show. But I think we need to understand that they've crossed the line now and let a genie out of a bottle. It's going to be hard to put back in place.
Yeah, if the genie that got out of the bottle was finally no one being above the law actually applied itself to someone who in times gone by would have been above the law, then that genie's out of the bottle. What he means, though, is that now Republicans are going to use this as justification to unjustly target Democrats. But again, my message, I covered this in a different segment. You have all these Democrats, Henry Cuellar, Democratic Senator Bob Menendez, etc., who themselves are being prosecuted by Biden's DOJ. And so how you can't see that and go, oh, wait, maybe this isn't a political thing. And it's just that sometimes powerful people do things wrong and they should be held accountable for it. And much simpler explanation. Things aren't always the simplest explanation, but if constantly you have to justify your stances by putting together this complex web of explanations that involve a bunch of evidence-free allegations and complex, connected stories about shadowy groups doing this and that thing, and there's a lot simpler explanation just waiting for you to grab onto. Maybe it's that one. Maybe it's that Trump, one guy, did some stuff rather than this whole group making it look like he did stuff he didn't do. Then you have this with Democratic Congressman Byron Donalds.
But I have concerns, Congressman, more broadly about our system, not just of justice, but in terms of our democracy. When there is this perception or there is a narrative to suggest that our legal system or our courts or a jury trial is somehow so rigged and unfair, people ultimately lose faith in the entire system. And I've sat through enough trials and heard enough verdicts as our nation to know that you can't pick and choose whether the system is fair based on the particular outcome of somebody you're aligned with. Do you have concerns that by talking about this through the lens you are, that you are undermining people's confidence overall in our system?
No, I don't. I don't have those concerns at all. I think that's been undermined by Alvin Bragg, by Judge Merchan, who frankly has been very clear about it.
And then on to the normal argument. But it's a great point by Laura Coates. And it's frightening. Think about, we saw, without diving into my whole explanation about it, one of the greatest attacks on our democracy with Trump trying to get rid of the hundreds of years pattern or tradition of presidents allowing for the peaceful transfer of power. And that revealed to us, wow, a lot of Americans, especially some of these prominent Republican leaders, don't have the dedication to our democracy that we'd thought or at least hoped they had. And we're learning that about the dedication to the legitimacy of our justice system here. And it is a stunning, don't forget this, because I know everything's so crazy that it feels like this is our new normal. Remember how scary and stunning it is that all it took for these Republicans to abandon their dedication to the legitimacy of our justice system and to our democracy is, for these MAGA Republicans specifically who are doing that, was a man named Donald J. Trump. A man being able to coalesce whatever whatever thing was that he was able to tap into that caused this cult-like following around him and caused him to take over the Republican Party. That has caused one man, because of a lot of factors, but in the name of one man, this level of abandonment of previously held principles, or at least purported principles. Disturbing stuff. Let me know what you're thinking of all these responses in the comments.